Hi, this is Ramos Reviews, the channel where I quickly express my thoughts and opinions about all types of movies. Today I'll be looking at 2022's Uncharted, directed by Ruben Fleischer. Before I start off with anything, I just want to make something abundantly clear. I have never played a single one of the Uncharted video games. I do play games on PlayStation 4, but for 99% of the time, I just mess around on multiplayer games with my friends. I have played certain single player games, but none of like the great iconic story driven games like God of War, Resident Evil, The Last of Us, and of course Uncharted. Though my older brother has, and he thought all of the Uncharted games were great, so he obviously wanted to see how the movie turned out to be, which is why I ended up being invited to watch it in the first place. So for a quick tiny review from what I've heard and understood from my brother, who is an Uncharted fan, he says that Tom Holland is a decent portrayal of a young Nathan Drake. Mark Wahlberg is nothing like solely from the games. There were many scenes that were inspired by certain events in the games, and overall it wasn't that bad of a movie, let alone a video game movie. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, now it's my turn to review this movie as once again, just an ordinary audience member who loves video games and Indiana Jones. So once again, I don't have a clear rating system, but I do mainly base my ratings on things like how well it's made, like special effects, directing, acting, how good it's written, like the story, characters, and creativity, and how entertaining and enjoyable I found the movie to be overall. Now if you agree with me, that's great, and if you don't, that's fine. Everyone's open to an opinion, and this is just mine. Now, let's get to the breakdown. A treasure hunter named Sully recruits intelligent yet mischievous Nathan Drake to help recover a mass of lost gold. As Sully and Nathan solve and discover more clues, they must quickly learn to trust each other to find the treasure before certain enemies do first. After seeing No Way Home, I assumed it'd be difficult to see Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Surprisingly though, I gotta hand it to Tom Holland. He's such a likable character in this movie with his once again Spider-Man-like lighthearted, smart-ass demeanor.
Okay, whoa, let me guess. Pina colada?
Tom manages to differentiate the two icons and make Nathan feel like his own actual character. Nathan Drake is generally funny, kind, skilled, a badass, and historically wise, he's intelligent. Though definitely not streetwise. I don't know if this is a thing from the games or not, but for many scenes, Nathan is just way too gullible and easily convinced. Over time, he gets smarter, but most of the time, I just felt like the screenwriters didn't know how to make any persuasive dialogues. Co-starring with Tom Holland is Mark Wahlberg, playing the absolute fan favorite original character of Sully. Not gonna lie, I personally really enjoyed him and his dynamic with Tom Holland, even though I've seen Mark Wahlberg play Mark Wahlberg way too many times. Sully can be a bit dickish to Nathan, but it's in a funny way, like Indiana Jones or Han Solo. And Sully does internally care for Nathan Drake, he just doesn't show it much and prefers to be secretive. He also does get some believable character growth throughout the film, as he finally trusts and gains a friendship with Nathan. Plus, like I said, their dynamic together is just pure entertainment. I also really enjoyed both their interactions with Sophia Ali's character, Chloe Fraser. Her and Sully definitely have this funny sibling rivalry thing going on, and you can definitely see the chemistry between her and Nathan. They're both similar in so many ways, and she's definitely a good love interest for him, though she doesn't really need Nathan or Sully. Chloe's character type alone is always one that I really like exploring in films. The capable, cunning, and witty character who at their core is a good person, but who just sees the world as a place where one can only trust themselves to succeed and survive. She's also the regretful traitor character, which I kind of expected, but at the same time I still found it enjoyable because it wasn't the typical cold-hearted backstab that needed a redemption. Chloe just did what she did so she could get paid. Plus, she didn't cause any permanent damage to either Nathan or Sully, because she acknowledges the fact that Nathan truly is a sincere and kind person, unlike the antagonist. I don't really know how to feel about the external conflicts in this movie, because for half the movie we're forced to believe that Antonio Banderas' Santiago Moncada is this intimidating supervillain. Unfortunately though, all he is just some rich and greedy businessman who had a bunch of goons that constantly got their shit pushed in. He's no dangerous fighter, he has no skills, he legit does nothing in every scene that he's in. Then, when the apparent secondary antagonist, Tati Gabriel's character, Joe Braddock, kills him, we're not disappointed, satisfied, or even shocked, because he was already an uninteresting character. Though I do like Braddock as an actual antagonist. She's a fellow intelligent treasure hunter who also happens to be a very skilled assassin mercenary. Braddock actually felt like a legitimate threat and villain. It was just so disappointing that we had to be scared by another character who wasn't menacing at all. I swear, even Chloe was a better antagonistic character than Santiago. Another thing I was iffy about with Uncharted was their take on physics. And look, I hate it when people say that's not realistic when watching a movie, but in this film, the only logical explanations for some of these scenes are that the characters are magicians or indestructible. One that comes to mind is the plane sequence. Now look, I understand that's something straight out of the game and movies have some pretty unbelievable cinematic situations, but the way Nathan walked off every fall just took me out of the movie completely. Maybe it somehow looked more believable in the game, but in the movie, every time he lands on a crate or in the water, he should definitely be badly injured or even dead. But this boy Nathan Drake just takes it like it was nothing, as if he was doing it for years. And that's something that sucks about this scene and a few others. Many scenes are reasonably believable, but then others are just physically impossible, even when it comes to pickpocketing, something that can easily be believable in a movie. Except in Uncharted, for some reason they decided to have a scene where the pickpocketer and the victim are like a good amount of feet apart. Like legit, there's no way you're getting anything from that far away. And some of the action scenes in this film are just way too ridiculous for my liking. Though story-wise, I thought they did an alright job, even though I still have some critiques. When you first meet Sully and Nathan Nathan, they for some reason act like they know each other or at least spoke to each other beforehand. I found it weird just how comfortable they were speaking to each other about something so unordinary. I believe it was a mistake or bad decision on the editor's part, because in the trailer there's a clip where I believe they were first supposed to meet, but never made it to the final cut. It doesn't look like some great amazing scene, but if it was supposed to be when they first truly met, they probably should have kept it in the film.
Kid, a little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
However, I gotta say, apart from the first 10 to 20 minutes, this movie doesn't feel rushed whatsoever. And each scene felt right in the film to keep the story moving and exciting. It's also impressive that many scenes were ripped straight from certain iconic moments from certain Uncharted games. Yeah, it didn't feel overwhelming. Like, I obviously wouldn't know if the story felt like an Uncharted game, but this movie definitely feels like it would be a decent action-packed adventure game. The clues given in this movie aren't easy nor really difficult, and the fight choreography is decent and purposefully humorous, like many jokes in the movie. The humor in Uncharted is definitely family-friendly and Marvel-like, but still got some legitimate laughs out of me. I also really enjoyed the theme of trust and faith between colleagues. The soundtrack feels very adventurous and thrilling. The action scenes, even though can be ridiculous, are fun to watch, and the character interactions between each other are very funny and amusing.
Both you turn your keys clockwise at the same time.
Thanks a lot. You almost got me killed.
Clockwise, Sully.
Well, it was 50-50, so I made a guess.
Clearly.
To me, Uncharted wasn't a bad film, though it wasn't a great one either. It's an alright written film that managed to succeed in having fun action sequences, engaging treasure hunting, and amusing dialogue. But unfortunately, it's also a film that has predictable events, a boring antagonist, and unbelievable physics. So, for a treasure hunting adventure movie that happens to be a live action adaptation of an iconic video game series, I found Uncharted to be a film with a rating of a 7.5 out of 10. With a recommendation to watch if you enjoyed movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, or Pirates of the Caribbean. Thank you for watching this Ramos review on Ruben Fleischer's Uncharted. If you want me to review a movie, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed the review, please leave a like and subscribe. It would help a lot and I would thoroughly appreciate it. Anyways, I'll talk to you in my next review.